Familiar with that. Going to bring him up. His name's Mr. Joe Ellis, everybody.
How you doing, Café LA? Y'all having a good time? Y'all enjoying your drinks? You were here last time, weren't you? Always.
I never moved.
It's good to see. Yeah, you were in the same spot and everything. It's good to see a familiar face. Well, he knows me, but some of you probably don't, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Joe Ellis. I actually turned 32 years old on Saturday. Woo! Yeah, it's not a whole lot to celebrate. I'm getting grayer, and my nuts are getting more in the way now. Apparently I asked him last time, apparently it's a thing when you turn 30, my dick's always been in the way, but now my nuts are starting to get in the way. I go to roll out of bed, I'm like, ow, oh, damn. I thought I'd be at least 50 before this started happening. Shit. Oh, this sucks. I've also never had a wet dream, and I've never had blue balls. So how you doing, sir? Oh, come on. I just know my way around myself, that's all. I actually told my wife that. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I jerk off a lot. You just don't see it. I'm like a jerk-off ninja. When you're in the other room. That was awful. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I have 2 kids. I know I look like weekend dad, but I actually have full custody of 2 little kids. So if you're terrified, you're not alone. There's actually a club. They got T-shirts. Why the fuck is he a dad? It's amazing. I also have my marijuana card. Anybody else got their marijuana card? One person. The guy who looks like a hippie in the back of the room, who looks like a Lewis and Auburn hippie. Oh, why am I not surprised? Well, if you don't have your card and you smoke weed, go get it. Because I know they say marijuana causes paranoia, but I tell you, once you get your card, that's fucking cured. No more fear, no more paranoia. It goes from, oh, I hope they don't catch me, to fuck you, pig. Smoked a pipe right out front for the show. So if you're smelling that, hi. But weed is actually very fun, and going to the dispensary is really fun. Going to the dispensary is like going to Starbucks for weed. It's awesome. The freaking... It's just, there's all kinds of strains, and everything's all lit up nicely. It's like, man, I expect this to be dark and dingy, like the head shop I got my pipe from. Fuck. It's actually kind of nice. But like I said, I have 2 kids. I love them a lot. I love them more than anything in this world. I also love them to shut the fuck up every once in a while. Just every once in a while, just stop talking. Stop, just shut up. Just shut up. I swear to God, they have a list of excuses, and when they get to the bottom, they just cycle right back to the fucking top. Just da-da-da-da-da. You have kids, I would assume. You giving me that look like, I know your pain. I know, oh my God, I want to kill them sometimes. It's amazing. They're always just like, why is the sky blue? Why is the grass green? Why do I gotta go in my room? What is that in your pipe? You don't need to know yet. And they do things that make me laugh all the time. Like my son is a little me, and he tries to keep telling jokes. He just really sucks at it. Which is really kind of cute and endearing, but at the same time, it's just like, no, don't. Or he'll repeat everything I say. I'm like, don't do that at school. Oh my God. I do not need you going to school telling them about how your daddy smoked weed. No. I already had that kind of problem once. I got accused at my daughter's school for smelling like alcohol when I picked her up. Which is really funny considering I haven't had a drink in 10 years. Yeah, I'm not an alcoholic. Like I said, I smoke a lot of weed. When they said pick your poison, I went, which one hasn't killed anybody yet? Weed. Yes, I'm going to go with weed. But because I got accused of it, I had to go take a piss test. I can answer it. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually get piss tested for alcohol. Yeah, enjoy your drinks. But yeah, they could test in your urine up to 3 days before if you had alcohol. So I went in, and I got signed up, and they called me in. And then as I'm going in to go take my test, I recognize the guy calling me in. He's actually someone who used to be a comedian back when I started doing comedy. So I'm sitting there and getting ready to take the piss. He's like, no, man, this is for the state. I gotta watch you. It's like, oh. So now I'm sitting there with my dick in my hand. I'm taking a piss with a guy watching me who has heard me tell dick jokes. And now he knows I was lying. It just made for a really awkward moment. But I tell you, with my kids, it drives you to drink sometimes. I mean, where are my other parents at? Woo! Did you guys, for the parents, did you notice that if you give them apple juice, it looks like pee, but it makes them poop? It's true! You're shaking my head like, yes, the nightmares are still with me. For those of you who don't have kids, look at us. I used to have full black hair. Now it's gray. Oh, it's horrible. Where was I? So, but my daughter, she's at that age, she's 8 years old, so she's at that really bitchy, defiant stage. You know, that really just crazy age that girls get.
It's just starting.
I know. God, don't remind me. The nightmare's just beginning. But she's starting to scare me because she's done this 3 times now, so I know it's not an accident. She went to her brother who's 10, and she took her finger and she put it in his booty snatch. And I don't know what to say. What do you say? Yeah, that's the look I had on my face. What do you say to your daughter when she puts her finger in her brother's butt? I don't understand. It's like, honey, why did you do that? And her response, I was just playing. We don't play that game in this house. I do not need you growing up with that idea of fun, okay? Mainly because in a couple of years that's going to be a felony, number 1. And number 2, I don't need my daughter thinking that sticking her finger up people's butts is a good idea, especially relatives. I mean, I think we all have family up north. It's not a good idea. Sweetheart, don't do that, please. But I do love them. They're the reason I smoke, but I love them very much. Let's see what else I want to talk about tonight. I'll probably wrap it up with this. I've been doing comedy for about 4 years now. So I've been here, there, and everywhere. Mainly in Portland, but I've been down to like Boston and New Hampshire and to those places like that. And there was one time I went down with a couple of the comedians. One's a gentleman named Ian Stewart, who kind of looks like Spring Break Jesus. Imagine Mike with lighter hair. Then there was B-Rad, who's actually the gentleman sitting in the doorway back there. Wave hi, B-Rad. The one whose t-shirt says, yes, I love shitty titties. You'll hear more about that later. I'm sorry. I told him to come up here. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So anyways, it was me, him, the redneck Steve-O, who you probably saw in the hallway, who's drunk, and my wife. And we all went down to Hampshire, and my buddy did a show, and he was calling a bunch of women bitches, and they wanted to dry hump him after the show, which makes no fucking sense to me. Because frankly, if I call any of you women bitches in here, I'm not going to get dry humped. I'm going to get kicked in the balls. I think you can all agree to that. Not my demeanor. So we were leaving the show, and as we're leaving, we noticed that we parked right next to a sex shop. We were like, well, let's go inside, because how more awkward can the evening be? So we walked in, and I tell you what, I've never seen a bunch of perverts more scared in my life. I mean, this ragtag group of people walked in, and they were like, oh my god, this is fucking... you know what, forget it. I'm grabbing my rubber fist, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. I can't deal with people coming into the store anymore. It's ridiculous. But for those of you who haven't been in a sex shop lately, ladies, you look like you wish. Things have changed quite a bit. You know, I know that back in the day it used to be like wall-to-wall DVDs or videos or, you know, whatever. But that's no longer the case. Now the DVDs are like this very small section, and the rest of it is all toys. Toys of everything you can imagine. There's dildos of every shape, size, color, and description. There's the vibrating bullets. There's pocket pussies. There's little toys that look like fat bald men jerking off. Don't know what the fuck you need that for. Vibrating cock cages. Once again, don't know what you need that for. But the one thing that really caught my attention... Oh, they also had these go-go boots that went up to my wife's hip. Had to load her into them like she's power armor. Ready to fuck. But the one thing that really caught my attention was the gimp masks. Now, if you don't know what a gimp mask is, I'm assuming no. Basically, it's this leather mask you put on. It's really restricting, and it's supposed to be sexy. I don't know. I like to breathe while I'm having sex. I don't know about everybody else. Oxygen is needed to maintain. But We are now in a golden age of gimp masks. It's no longer the simple leather with the zipper mouth. No. You can get that if you want, but there's also there's a pink pig gimp mask. So if you want to relive your Animal Farm fantasies, I don't know. There is also a Playboy bunny gimp mask if that's what you're into. There's all kinds of shapes and colors, but there was one that really made me just go, really? Really? That was the Jason Voorhees gimp mask. Yes, the killer from Friday the 13th. Gimp mask. The fuck? Who's this for? I want to know who this is for. I mean, ladies, could you imagine sitting there in a little crop top t-shirt and short shorts like a camp counselor? Your man walks into the bedroom wearing just that mask. He's got his machete out. Suck, my, cock. Rim, job. Skeet. I guess that's fun on Crystal Lake. Or maybe it's fun on crystal meth. And the funniest part about that joke is now I can no longer watch those movies with my wife without her going, that fucking joke! So that's the big payoff for that one. I am Joe Ellis. Thank you all so much for laughing with me. Let's give it back to Ben, everybody.
Joe Ellis, everybody. He's a sex educational specialist. Is the best way to describe that. He reminds me, he's 30 years younger, but that lady who used to stay up late night and review adult toys and stuff? That's his aunt. No, it's not, but she could
have been.
He's been subscribing to her blog for a while now. You know who I'm talking about? Sue Johansson. Let's give it up for Sue, everybody. While we're giving it up for things, let's give it up for Café LA for hosting this awesome night.